So there are key mindsets and philosophies when it comes to trying to get clients to Upwork, and this will allow you to help structure your profile, cover letter, and just in general, this might be the most important video that I ever put out.
Look, I'm gonna tell you about my life.
So guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This video is like so fucking important, and to be honest, I don't even want you to watch any of my other YouTube videos until you watch this one, because I'm going to talk about like some like ideas and philosophies that I kind of talked about with my other students, and these like mindsets and philosophies will help you understand the kind of like core of Upwork, if that makes sense. And understanding this will allow you to kind of market yourself better on Upwork. Make sense? So let's get into it. Before we get into like the mindsets and so on, let's get into the goal of what we're trying to achieve here. Now, obviously we're trying to get clients and so on. That is kind of pretty self-explanatory, but what is like the goal with the actual profile itself? Like, what are we trying to achieve? We're trying to get a couple things. We're trying to get a job success score. People refer to this as a JSS. You want to get a job success score because this really boosts the amount of clients that are going to see you. Not only that, but just in general, it makes you look very, very good. Ideally, you would have it above 90%. Now, there's a couple reasons for that. Above 90%, obviously, one is because it's great. If you have it at 100%, it's even better. But more importantly, for you to become top rated, for you to be in the top rated program, you need to be above 90% for 13 out of the 16 weeks. There's some other requirements and so on. I'll maybe pop something in the description about an article explaining like the exact like needs that you have to be top rated. But getting a job success score is super important, and being top rated is super important because that really puts you at the the top of the food chain. I was actually top rated for about 3 days, and then I was removed because I had a poor review, and then it actually dropped my profile down to like 85%. So that's one goal. And then the other goal is to have lots of work experience on your profile. This is maybe the most important thing. Having lots of work experience and all of those little 5 stars and good reviews is really going to boost your profile. And obviously we'll talk about like the portfolio and like the description and the skills section, other experiences, education, work experience, all those different things in a different video. But really, the job success score and the work experience, as in and the jobs and so on, the 5-star reviews, those are the most important things. Okay, so now we understand like what the goal is. So what are the most important mindsets and philosophies that are at play here? I'll try and do them in order and kind of make sure that they feed into each one, and I'll kind of explain how they're all somewhat related. Okay, so the first one is the DNA of Upwork. If you're a mentorship student, you know exactly what the fuck I'm on about. This is something that I hammer all the time, and to be honest, these like 3 are the things that I hammer the most in the mentorship program, because to understand this, it's like the concept of like teaching a man to fish. Like you can give a guy a fish, or you can teach a man to fish, and he'll live forever selling fucking trout or whatever. So the DNA of Upwork is that nobody, or at least the clients, don't know what the fuck is going on. Let me say that again. The clients don't know what the fuck is going on. This is super fucking important. A lot of the time, if you're any experience in Upwork at all, you'll go on there, and a lot of the time it will be like entry-level job, and then you close them, and it'll be $3,300. Like one of our clients, it was an entry-level job, payment unverified. Not a lot of description, not a lot of I think it was entry-level. What else was it? It was like less than 30 hours. All these things, right? Things that would make you think that it's a small project. So really, on Upwork, the clients don't really know what's going on, which means you don't know whether or not a client is going to be fucking huge or whether it's going to be really, really fucking small. You might be like, oh, but the client spend is like $1 million. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're a big client. That means that they may have been spending lots of little things. You can even check the average amount on their profile if you're paying the premium membership, for example. So another aspect of the DNA of Upwork is that when you're applying to these jobs, really, this actually essentially makes the filter section on Upwork essentially irrelevant. Because obviously, I'll put it this way, Upwork is in a very poor job of allowing you as a client to market your job efficiently. Like for example, there's 2 different types, there's hourly and fixed price. It's not like hourly and then like a long description as to why hourly is good, and then fixed price, why is a long description as to why that one's good, or entry level, it doesn't explain like why that's good. When you go on there, it's just like options and you just press. So a lot of the time the clients And maybe one thing you can do, and what I recommend to a lot of my students, is just make a client account and send out a fake job, just to see, what the fuck is going on, essentially, like just to see like how you don't really get a lot of customization in the jobs and so on. So the clients don't know what the fuck is going on. This means that you don't know whether a client's going to be big or not, and this allows you to kind of essentially not worry too much about the filter section on Upwork. So what is the next philosophy? So obviously we just spoke about the DNA of Upwork, and the clients don't really know what's going on. So what it means is a lot of the time as well is that they won't put a lot of effort into their job. They won't put like a lot of effort into the description, into making the title, and so on. And that that mindset in of itself leads into the next philosophy, which maybe is maybe one of the more important ones, is the convenience paradise. Guys, this is so fucking important. In general, SMMA, a lot of the time this is not coming from working with a client isn't coming from a place of convenience. It's coming from a place of like, I want to get results and so on. However, with Upwork, it comes from a place of convenience. They're just trying to outsource. I even speak to my mentorship students about how Upwork is like the rise of the busy business owner. Like it's like the rise of like the business owner that just doesn't have time to handle social media, for example, and they kind of just want someone to do it. So yeah, I have clients that we've worked with for like literally like 11, 12 months. 11, 12 months, maybe 11 months-ish, 10 months-ish maybe. I don't even think I've been doing this for a year because I started in August. So I have a client, for example, called Megan, who's been paying us $600 a month, for month on month, and we're posting once a day. And, the work is not like super difficult for us to do. And we've obviously streamlined and so on, and we'll talk about that in a different video. But really, it just comes down from a place of convenience. Their business, their agency, their wealth management agency, their business in America is just scaling and growing so fucking quickly. They just don't have fucking time to handle this. And the majority of the clients that you land on Upwork will come from a place of convenience. I'm going to say that again. So the majority of the clients that you land on Upwork will come from a place of convenience. They just want you to take this off their hands, which allows you to market yourself better with your proposal and with your profile. And you want to basically make your profile and your proposal so aimed at just being like, look, I have the systems in place, I can take this off your hands, instead of trying to like explain to them why this is beneficial for them. Which leads us into the most important philosophy, which is the 2 commandments. I don't even care if you don't remember, the convenience paradise or the DNA of Upwork. You have to know these 2 commandments. Convincing someone this is something that they need, and convincing them that you're the person for the fucking job. Convincing them that you're the person for the fucking job, that's very self-explanatory because obviously the Upwork account kind of speaks for itself. Convincing someone that something they need. Very important before we get into that, Upwork does not abide by these rules, these commandments, if you will. I just say commandments because it sounds kind of cool and it's more engaging for my students. But, Upwork doesn't abide by these rules. This is more aimed at like cold calling and cold emailing, where you kind of have to like qualify a lead. You have to see whether it's actually beneficial for them. So trying to convince them this is something they need, you need to be like, look, Facebook ads can really benefit your business. Social media management can really benefit your business. Whereas with Upwork, the client's already put out the fucking job. They went through all the effort of creating an account, all of the effort of creating the job itself, sifting through all these different places and so on. It really, they're already qualified. Every lead on there is pretty much qualified because they're the ones that put the fucking job out, whereas when you cold call, they don't really want to fucking talk to you. So understanding this concept will really help you market your, profile and your proposal in the same way that your convenience does, in the same way that the DNA of Upwork does. So obviously this is a quick video that explains the simple philosophies of Upwork, but this might be the most important video because to understand this, really, you have to, for you to become successful in business, there is like somewhat of a holistic approach. You have to understand the technique and the banging out of the IPAs and the system building and all these things and the softwares. That is one aspect of business, but business has to be holistic in some way. You have to understand Upwork at its core to understand how to market on there. So I really appreciate you guys watching this video, and if you haven't already, please go and check out my Instagram because look, at the end of the day, I post twice a week on YouTube, and obviously I try and keep this these videos super dense for you and super educational, but you know, I am posting regularly. I don't know if you can see that. I'm posting literally 5 times a week in terms of the posts on Instagram, but not only that, I'm posting over 100 times. I'm gonna lean in 100 times on Instagram stories a week. 100 times. You know, I'm literally releasing like super good content on there, and I'm talking about this all the time. So really, if you really want to learn more about Upwork and learn more about me and what my students are doing, that is the place to be. And then also, if you haven't already checked it out, the Facebook group. Funnily enough, you know, obviously I've been crushing it in the Upwork space, but I didn't realize this, but there's no Facebook groups for Upwork. There's no space for like the community to kind of come together and talk. So I actually created a Facebook group that's called Upwork SMMA 101. And you know, there I'll be talking about different topics. I actually go live in there every week. And on top of that, you know, it's a good place for you guys to network and see that there's actually other people going through what you're doing. But yeah, check out my Instagram, check out the Facebook group, and I'll see you guys in the next video.